Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of manifesting our reality. So I had an interesting encounter today on the train on the way home. So the train was supposed to terminate where it normally terminates, and then did its fun little thing that TfL like to do where they just decide, oh, we're not going to terminate here anymore. We're not going to terminate here anymore. So we got off the train and this woman is smiling at me. And I smile back because I'm told you I'm in my phase of smiling at strangers and everyone smiles at me and la la la. So she smiles at me and she's talking to me and I had my headphones on. And I was like, oh. She goes, oh, I swear this train said it was going to terminate, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, it's annoying, but, what can we do? And she starts talking to me about how she went to the O2 today. Firstly, she went to Hyde Park yesterday with her son to go watch Stevie Wonder, which was so cute. And then she went to the O2 today because her daughter really wanted to go see Billie Eilish. And she went and bought her daughter tickets to go see Billie Eilish. And so she just dropped her off there and then came home. And I was like, oh my God, so cute. So, yeah, we're chatting away. And then she just starts going, you look like you've worked all day. And I was like, yeah. Do I look like that? Girl, I have. And I was like, yeah, it's been a hard day, standing on my feet all day, working at a coffee shop at the Natural History Museum. And she was like, oh, okay, la, 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 la. And then she started going, like, what did you get your degree in? And I was like, oh, I got it in drama and theatre. And she goes, you need to utilise that degree. You should become a tutor and start teaching drama. And you should get your teaching degree and become independent. You need to become independent. And she was just giving me this thing. And oddly, when I got fired from my job, I was like, okay, that's me done with acting. That's me done. I can't handle it. I can't hack it. So I've done teaching. I've got loads of experience in teaching. I've done loads of placements being a supply teacher, a form tutor. I have taught drama. What is that noise? I've taught drama. When I'm not acting and not fucking coffee shopping, I am teaching. So after I got fired from my job, I was like, I am going to get my PGCE and just become a teacher. Then I can, travel and go abroad and all that other jazz. And so I started the process, and it's actually kind of it's a long process, but it's funded by the government to become a teacher here, especially if you already have a degree. So that was interesting. She basically told me to do it, get my PGCE and start being independent. And we all know Maya needs to be independent because living at home isn't great. So I emailed my consultant because I have a becoming a teacher consultant because I was doing it, and then I just got this acting job and did some acting for a bit and kind of was in a weird lull, and I thought, well, maybe this is a sign from the universe to do the teaching, and then I can still try and pursue acting, but maybe having a more stable career as a teacher is a good kind of fallback. And even if I get the PGCE and I do the year, I can go back into acting, but then I have my PGCE and la la la. She told me not to waste my life and not to waste time and just do it. So I messaged my consultant and I said, hey, can I still do my personal statement? Or because it's July right now, so there's still time till September to get that in and to hopefully get a placement. I just don't know, because maybe I'll get this acting job or whatever. I think this is the hardest thing about being a freelancer and being an actor, is taking a year out is a really... it doesn't have to be a big decision because, like I said, law of assumption, law of anything. the universe and is everything that you think it is. So if you think it's going to be hard, then it will be hard. But if you think taking a year out means nothing, then it can, let me sit down. Then it can mean nothing and everything can be fine. I like that tree. It's cute. So, who knows? I'm still going to persist with my manifestations. That's not going to stop. But doing a 10-hour shift and getting £12.11 is just... It's a great humbling, beginning story. It's great to start off at, but it's just, I need something more. If I want more in my life, I need more money. This hair is interesting. But what am I going to talk about today? So like I said to you, every morning and every evening I've been reading my scripting letter. I want to focus more on feeling, because I feel like these last couple of days, especially being tired from work, I've just been reading the letter, maybe not feeling as much as I should or need to, but I don't want to put that label or put that pressure on myself, because I am doing the work. This morning I read my scripting letter, but I really felt like, am I even reading this? Because I was like I said, half asleep, because I guess my thought process was, if I'm half asleep and reading it, then I'm allowing my subconscious to get the words in without putting too much effort in. But then I was thinking, well, if I'm doing that, am I actually feeling the feelings when I'm reading it? Or does reading it just for reading its sake, is that helpful or not, So I guess in the morning when I'm reading my scripting letter, I want to be a bit more present and a bit more like I am reading this letter, instead of like doing it like I said I was doing the other day, like just like blah, 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 reading it and then going back to sleep. Okay, but I should be feeling it a bit more, because feeling is the secret. Feeling is the key. We need to feel. So that's something I'm going to do. It's funny because I found all my journals. So I've always kept a journal ever since I was about 13. I mean, I've kept one longer, but consistently I've kept a journal since I was about 14. And so I have a few, and I was going through my 14-year-old journal where, guys, I was so depressed. And I was just reading a lot of the kind of thoughts and genuine beliefs that I had. I really used to hate myself and struggle with that a lot. And that was, for the first time ever, really sad to read. My heart broke for me. And I said to myself last night when I was reading, I want to manifest this life for me, for old Maya, who didn't believe in herself and hated herself. And I, have been doing a lot of unpacking with just like my life, and accepting that I did grow up in an abusive home. And I don't want that to be some kind of like storyline for me, but I don't think I ever realised how abusive and bad it was. One of the entries that I found was me saying that I'm really scared because I think my dad's really depressed and I'm scared he's going to kill us. And that's really concerning. And I remember I used to have to sleep with about 5 to 7 blankets, and I had like a metal bed, and it used to have had spirals. So what I would do is I'd get one of the blankets and I'd hook it to the spiral to make like a tent, and I would sleep in that tent every night for years. So I had loads of blankets throughout the winter, throughout the summer, and I guess on analysing that, I needed those heavy blankets to feel safe. And it kind of, it's now we have like weighted blankets and things like that. We never used to have that when I was a kid. So I can see now that I'd naturally created a weighted blanket to help with anxiety and to make me feel secure when going to sleep. Interesting. Today was a good day, hard day at work, and it was interesting bumping into that woman and her telling me that. And I wonder what that means. I want to continue to make aligned action, and I want to continue to persist in the feeling. I do feel a bit wondering what I should do. I don't want to say at a loss, because I don't think I am at a loss, but I'm unsure on what I need to do to continue. I mean, obviously we have the theory, the Neville Goddard theory. Feeling is a secret. We have to feel our manifestations. We have to lift our vibration and live as if we've got the things that we want, and that's something I'm doing. And I also think going back into my childhood and unpacking some things that I've never really unpacked, and the trauma, the reason behind it, is me actually lifting some of the blocks and old beliefs that I used to have, and just kind of slowly turning them around, which, yeah, I guess when you're doing it, I don't know if it feels like work. I think I watched a video where someone quoted Steve Jobs, where he says that you can't see the building blocks looking forward. You can only see them when you look back. So I can't see what I'm building right now. I can only see what I'm building when I look back, which is... It's interesting, because you're always wondering if you're doing it right, and if I'm doing the right thing. And I don't want to circle too much in, am I doing it right? Oh, is this wrong? Oh, I'm not doing it right. Oh, it's not working. Because A, it hasn't been that long, and B, it takes a while to get rid of blocks and to constantly live in the feeling. And I don't know, I feel a bit like I'm not wobbling. I'm very much focused on my goals and getting there and doing the right thing to get there. I want to do the active work. I want to make choices every day that are aligned with the person that I want to be. I want to move out before my 27th birthday. I want to have a stable income coming in. And be it my dream job or a good job, I'm willing. It's not that I'm like willing to wait. I am willing to wait. I'm not in a rush. I want these things, and I'm going to have these things. These are my goals. These are my desires. I'm going to have these things, so I don't need to worry about when it's coming. But I do want to move out soon, and I do want to have a stable enough income to do that. And I'm just going to have to trust that I am doing the work right, and trust in myself that I am getting myself to where I want to be, even on the days where it feels not like I'm not, but just like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Because there's no proof. That's the creme de la creme. We have small proofs, like I said, in the way that you feel, but there is no proof until it comes. I am trusting in the universe. I am trusting that I'm creating the bridge of incidents, or the vortex, or what all these manifestation people say. There's a quantum physicist called Vadim Zeland, who I was obsessed with a couple years back. And he explains in the realms of quantum physics how to transurf realities, how to shift realities. He's a quantum physicist from Russia, and he talks about the fact that there are numerous realities, multiple realities. If you've seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's like that. Physicists have been saying this for years. Einstein said that there was a possibility of multiple universes and every action has its equal opposite reaction. And if that's the case, then there are infinite universes where everything, is different. Vadim Zeland says that we are connected to all the universes within our own timeline. Do you get me? Within your life realm. And you can essentially transurf. If there's an infinite possibilities of universes, there is a possibility the desire that you have, the dream that you have, or whatever it is, somewhere in the multiverse, you're doing it. So he says, if you, like all the manifestation people say, focus on that, visualize that, and keep visualizing it every day. He calls the visualization a slide, 10-second, 20-second visualization scene of your reality, desired reality, which is exactly what Neville Goddard says. If you do that every day, slowly you will build an alignment, or whatever, you will get there, basically. But he also talks about this thing called pendulums. Now, pendulums have been something that I've been talking about for ages. Thought pendulums are basically spirals that get you stuck up. They feed on your energy, and the more you feed into the pendulum, the bigger it gets. I fed into the pendulum when losing my job. It was a clear example of a thought pendulum, of a pendulum getting really, really big and, getting me in its swing and bringing me around. And that's exactly what it did, and I got fired from my job. And he says there are also good pendulums, because you can get stuck in a pendulum where you suddenly become famous. It just spirals and spirals and spirals, and boom, you're, Justin Bieber, singing sensation, blah, 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 blah. We can also see that right now, Justin Bieber, is stuck in a pendulum. He's spiraling right now, you can see it. And I wonder what's going on in his head. But you can see how it picks someone up and just spins them around. So maybe it is to do with drugs and this and that, because I don't think whatever he's on is just weed. It's interesting, and if you're interested in things like that, please, there is a guy that reads it on YouTube. It's very endearing the way he reads it, because it's just one random guy, reading this book. So he's like stuttering and things like that, but like the book is great, and you I think there's about 25 parts, and each part is like 25 minutes. It's a big book. But it's very interesting, and if you're interested in that, have a look at Vadim Zeland, Reality Transurfing. You can listen to the audiobook in parts on YouTube. Anyway, very interesting day. Again, the one positive thing, and I don't know if it's also the weather, like the fact that you don't need a coat and I can just sit in the park with a short sleeve top on and feel like great, is helping. I really enjoy the heat, besides the fact that, working in that heat in a coffee shop I've actually find accustomed to it now, but I feel like this video is a lot of gobbledygook. But I'm going to end it now, and I might make another one just to, I don't know. This video is a bit like, sometimes I don't have anything to say. Like I said, I'm still going to do this every day, because this is me showing up for myself and hopefully taking aligned action. And I think if you're still listening, which is insane, one of the things that I've been reading and listening to a lot is that every day, if you just continue to act in ways that aren't the same, if you act in the same way, you're going to get the same results. So doing things different and doing things acting differently, eating differently, you know, really trying to get to where you are, or where you want to be, it's not going to be like overnight. For some people it might be, but it's not going to be overnight. You have to consciously make these decisions every day that you are showing up as someone else. And yeah, I feel like I am, even in the small parts. Like today, nothing crazy happened, but I'm just going to keep going. You know, I've only been making these videos for 4 days now. So, you know, that is not anything big in the scale of changing my reality. But if I do this every day and I continue and I persist, something is going to change, because it has to. Like, that's the beautiful thing about it, and the thing that I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward to seeing my universe, my world change, and my reality change. I'm feeling my thoughts and my mind change. I am going through the deep, hard shadow work and facing my past self, which is something that I'm never doing. And not only am I facing my past self, I'm treating her with love and care. I'm so sad that I was so sad and I felt so alone. I wrote this poem called Goodbye, and I was like, did I really write this? It's like 4 pages long, 5 pages long, about a girl who kills herself and leaves a letter for her mum to read. And it's a beautiful poem, but it's shocking. Yeah. But I am now not only doing this for me in a superficial way, I feel like I'm also doing it for me. Like, I guess my challenge for you today is, if you have any old journals or any old diaries, or if you sit down with yourself, and I know that's really hard to do. It's really hard to sit down and meditate and do things for yourself. But if you sit down and you really try and get into contact with you as a kid, you as a teenager, and give them a hug and tell them that you're doing this for them, I don't know. I felt, although I didn't sleep well, I slept at like 2 a.m. last night, reading and staying up and thinking, and kind of thinking about a lot of things, past relationships and all that. And yeah, I was like, oh, don't think about those anymore, because I'm only going to be focusing on me and loving me. But knowing that in my past relationships, I wanted to prove that I was worth loving, because maybe deep down I didn't love myself. And maybe last night was a lesson on seeing myself as a teenager and being like, oh my God, baby girl, I love you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you went through that. And I'm sorry that you felt so alone and that you hated you, because I don't hate you. And I want to send myself love in the past. I want to send myself some love in the past, from the future. Time isn't real, so that worked. Oh God. And you know that's a little white dog that's making that noise. To a black dog as well. Anyway, bye guys.